listening to the way that he as a personal and a teacher can influence students in the learning process, how on earth can we actually duplicate or at least have computer technology do the kinds of things that human teachers can do? And how can we empower learners to actually engage in the text? Now, the old technology here, and the story I'm talking about here, is how 3B8 started. I had Ulrik Sandborg Petersen, one of my programming partners, develop this tool for exercises. It's like a very simple quiz tool, frame game, or just rock bottom technology. But it has been developed quite nicely over the years, and it is available. It's one of the few programs that actually you have to pay a little bit for it. Otherwise, we develop open resources that are free within our project here. Have to do that. Anyway, what happened was that I discovered something fantastic with a student of mine who was simply developing a kind of a morphology cruncher, a regular parser, by playing with this tool, and it made the point to me, this kind of technology can really build a kind of a training that will persuade students to actually learn in a significant way, and this was a starting point for developing much more sophisticated tools. Now, in the Paradigms Master Pro, we have both Hebrew and Greek. So total forms known to practice in Hebrew is 1893 at the moment, and the lemmas or lexemes are 63, and total number of quizzes are 158. And I use it in my course from like in the third week or something like that. Then they have to start practicing the using the paradigms, the paradigms in Hebrew. So it has regular verbs, guttural verbs, irregular verbs, and you can choose either to do a full parsing or multiple choice. And we thought, well, people will want multiple choices. This must be the easiest, but no way. Students in the early learning phases need this kind of process where they need to click on every feature and actually learn by clicking their way into the system. And then there's responses and everything else. In the break, you will have the opportunity to play with it, to see if there's something you like. And we have a commercial. I will, it's there, half price at the end of the month. And you can download it and try it for free and all that sort of thing. End of commercial, yes. The technology we are using here is based on the German Bible Society's SESB program, the latest version out of 2009. So if you have the SESB, the exercises will emulate. It works on the same database. It's not very familiar, but actually should be, and the database is a Workgroup Informatica out of Amsterdam. Now, some of the plotting we are doing at the moment is to think of new ways to bring up or to introduce the Biblical Hebrew reference grammar. Is one of the best linguistics ones available as a reference grammar. How can we get Christopher de Mathes' work into something that will actually be learning objects? And I cooperate with Amsterdam, and we're going to have the reference grammar here, and then learning objects and personal implementations of this, and have the Europlot technology into the picture, and then there'll be a comprehensive grammar. This is some of the things that we are developing for the future. Another thing which is very important for me to tell you about is that we focus on the majority world technology. I was teaching in Madagascar, one of the poorest countries in the world, and people told me learning technology will never work in Madagascar, but it could. they have their computers, their old PCs, and you can install these kinds of open resources on the computers, and then they will learn how to collaborate on learning, and it will give them new opportunities to learn. So my teaching in Madagascar was very, very important in terms of developing the new technology. And then I've also seen University of Stellenbosch and these huge computer labs where students will be sitting together. And now I need to finish. So we have set up the session here so that there will be time for discussion. 5 minutes if we keep, and we'll try to keep track of time. If you have any, yes, thank you.
I'm just curious, are you teaching this course online, or is it
yes.
face-to-face?
Well, both.
So it's a hybrid
yes,
format?
It's sort of, you know, it's in the early development in the 3B8s, but right now I have a student who had to, you know, she missed courses, and so she's doing it on her own. And but usually I will use it in kind of a blended learning environment.
Okay.
But the idea is that you have a small video or Camtasia presentations, so there's no lecturing really involved, but just putting resources at the disposal of the students. Then basically when I teach, like in Madagascar, I go into a class and say, how are you doing? Is playing going well? Is the technology working well? And where are you? How are you feeling today? And then we will look at it. So in the classroom in Madagascar, I showed that the students would be sitting with their computers, and then in class I would just have one video projector up, and then we would talk about it. Can we, you know, pass this form, and we will turn it into competition. So you can use it in blended learning environments, but the idea, of course, is to develop it for online learning, and then to develop new tools that will empower learners and their instructors to work. This is the next sessions.
Okay, thank you.
Well, thank you. Any more questions?
I mean,
yes.
So you're saying with the Camtasia presentations, you don't really, it can be fully...
yes, that's my feeling. It's
okay.
Students prefer to have 5 minutes concise knowledge on video, which they can repeat, rather than listen to me for hours and trying to reinvent what could be better presented in a video.
My other question was, how do you help the students get over the alphabet? That seems to be.
Well, there are two answers to that. So far, I have, you know, taken the tunneling way. You know, start with the consonants and voice. Daniel, in the end, the last presentation, will present our ideas about perhaps using transliteration to get over this point. People can get very demotivated while struggling to read a script. So if you can take them into transliterated text, and the technology can handle that, you can start them off with interpretations. They will discover, oh, it's a very exciting text. And I can start, you know, tagging, I can start building my interpretations, and then hopefully, at least as far as the theory, the hunch goes, the kind of things we'll have to test is that they will be motivated eventually to be able to read on their own. So we are trying to turn the learning process around. Knut?
Yeah, I just wonder how much positive feedback have you had already from your students, and are you expecting that the new level of the program will significantly increase what you've already achieved?
Yeah. Oh yes, the last one, hopefully. I mean, that's what we are about to document, the kind of learning. So one of my problems is that I have too few students in city in Copenhagen. So there's a paper to be published, to appear in October, where I document my results on focus interviews, but just 4 students, which were kind of guinea pigs for the development processes. But I could save like 40% of learning time, and they were performing much better at oral tests. So actually, Daniel listened to a recording of it, and I was very happy. He instantaneously said, "Oh, they are very good."
No, not instantaneously. I thought that well, they didn't get farther than I did after a year's course. But then it occurred to me they did only had half a year's course, and the examination were without preparation. And then I were actually impressed, because they were a bit unsecure, but a lot less unsecure than I would have expected for such an exam.
So I do 17 pages of BHAs, so it's, they get through quite a number of material. They have 3 months basically, or something like, yes, that's right. So at least I don't have any more time. Yeah, we need to switch, and thank you very much. Right. So Tom, could you come up here?